here.
Yeah, so John, if I'm Jason and I forget to recharge the sea bobs, right?
Yeah.
And granted, I guess he's never worked with sea bobs before. I would say some brother would be like, "Oh, my bad. I didn't know." He
Yeah.
immediately is just like, "Reagan didn't tell me."
Yep.
Like, you gotta take like some ownership. Like yeah, oh, I thought they were like battery operated, or I didn't know they need to be charged.
Yep.
He blames Reagan so quick.
And yeah, there's another time where they were gonna put him in like a tube and like bring him around on the ski-doo, and he blows it up. He takes it out, he blows it up, and then Reagan's like, "Oh, where's like the rope to this?"
Mm.
And he's like, "Well, I've never seen this before in my life before today." It was like, okay, did it come with a rope or did it not come with a rope, guy?
Yeah, right. He's
Like,
like, I don't know what a rope is. This is my first.
what?
Like, who is this guy? Like, does he have any experience whatsoever?
No, he's like a captain of his own boat or something. And honestly, like, I'm so sick of everyone on the deck team for like the last couple of years have been like captains on their own boats. It's like, like what, you put any boat in the water and you're the captain? Like,
Yeah, right. Like, yeah, it's like, is that even real experience? Doesn't
yeah,
seem to be for on this show. And like, yeah, I agree. I mean, Z and Storm come up great this episode because, like, obviously Reagan looks bad, but yeah, so does Jason. He's in like, okay, I feel like Reagan does kind of blame Jason Quick for that.
yeah.
She's like, oh, that should have been done. But Jason's just like so combative where they're back that I don't know. I I I wouldn't mind Jason leaving either.
Yeah. I'm off Jason. I'm only on Reagan because she's good for the show.
She's
Terrible person.
hilarious.
Yeah, but great for the show.
Her dancing. Oh, I guess should we get to the when the guests want to go in the water, they have to wait an hour and a half.
Yeah, we talked, yeah, this whole thing about they can't get anything right, man. Um Reagan's Reagan's given no direction. Jason gets super frustrated. Z and Storm just like do their job and like don't assume like there was one point there where Storm was like, "Hey man, we should go do this." And Jason goes, "I'm going to do what my boss tells me to do."
Yeah, yeah, like that. His attitude sucks all the time.
It really does. I'm just like, dude, like Z and Storm kind of know they've been dealt like a short hand with Reagan and like do something about it. Jason's just like, I'm gonna do nothing, and while I might like make myself look bad, I'm gonna make Reagan look bad too. Which, like, dude, you don't win in this situation.
Yeah, he loves blaming Reagan more than like trying to learn anything. I
Yep.
agree. I do love when Reagan was just watching Storm put the jet skis in the water.
It's just not a good look. But I
Real
will say,
oh,
yeah, I will say, dude, I think this boat, whoever made this boat, doesn't know a thing about boats because they've got like the last, like wherever you put all the water toys is in the very front of the boat, and like you have to like climb down to get there.
yeah.
And then this crane, which apparently they can't figure out that you just do like different attachments to it, or every time you have to put a different attachment on, you have to literally like take a hammer and like get these like exchange them. I think the deck crew was just dealt a really bad hand when it comes to like this setup, but they also are not helping themselves out by just looking like chickens with their heads cut off at this point.
I think John, you described it as on Twitter as like we're gonna real hands-off approach to managing.
Yeah. Yeah, props to Reagan for giving Storm the room to grow as a lead deckhand here.
Yeah, he looks so great by comparison. And even Z, like Z's telling Jason how to blow up the swim platform, how to blow up some of the toys. But yeah, when City comes down and like while the guests are there, and she's like, I don't want to be the bosun. That's brutal.
Yeah. I mean, at the same time, so I think like the previous guest, and it seems like this is the first time they're putting all like the water toys out and things like that. So I don't know what the first charter guest did because apparently they didn't get any of the water toys really. They got some of like the naughty boys and things like that, but maybe they figure it out next time. But I mean, if I'm waiting an hour and a half for water toys and I'm the guest, I'm super pissed.
Should we should we go into the end of the episode, the Sandy Reagan meeting?
Yeah. So at the very end, we really get to the point where Sandy's giving Reagan the tools that she needs to succeed. Um,
What?
Sandy's going through her usual like we need to do this. You need to work on your. Oh, what was it? Reagan kind of blamed and said, I need to figure out what the strengths and weaknesses are of my crew. And Sandy's like, no, you need to realize your weaknesses.
That when she said like I want to give you the tools, the rest of that conversation is just her saying Reagan, you suck. Like literally
Exactly.
repeating it like over and over and over again. Like I, I don't know. Like Reagan's not really a good eye contact person. So
Yep.
I don't think that helps the meeting whatsoever. But like I thought, you know, usually if your boss isn't pointing to you, sometimes you can talk your way out of it where it's like, all right, we have hope for the future.
Yep.
There's no hope after that. She's gone. I mean, she's I think she's gone at some point. I don't know exactly when, but
So here's where we run into an issue. It's a 14-day quarantine. So
yeah.
the problem is if you get rid of your bosun, you're probably gonna have to promote somebody and then bring on another deckhand. But you have to wait 2 weeks for that deckhand. I mean, that's like what, 4 charters? So maybe that's how Courtney comes on, but obviously she's not gonna be um she's not gonna be like a bosun. So maybe
No,
like
there's a rumor she comes on as a deckhand though. I've heard
yeah,
that.
I mean it makes sense. So let's see what happens. But
Right? If
also
Jason could
like
be a deckhand, why can't she?
Jason sucks. Um so well, yeah, I
What's a
mean
rope? I don't know what that is.
I do I do think Reagan's got one more chance here to get it right. I don't think she's
Yeah.
gone. Sandy likes keeping her team intact. She likes giving her teams the tools that they need to succeed.
Mm.
And yeah, I mean, listen, this is also the same person that kept Lexi on for like almost the entire season. So like, doesn't know when to cut bait.
No, was it? I'm not here to tear your spirit down, but I'm also here to do business. And
There you go.
that was like Reagan can get an inch with her
No,
when it's just like, hey, like everyone works their own way. Sydney's like, no, not in super yachts. We do it. There's only one way to do it.
that's true. Yeah.
And like, if you're Reagan, you're walking away from that, be like, okay, all I have is weaknesses. And like, I think she gave her like a tip about like just putting the toys out whenever you can, which that is a good tip. Like whenever there's downtime, just get all the
Yep.
toys out. But
Yep.
I don't know.
Sean, let's talk about one more thing I have an issue with here, and then we'll get into the awards. And maybe we're getting ahead of ourselves here, but if we take Reagan off the boat, what's the best storyline? Maybe Natalia and
Storm.
Storm?
Yeah, I agree. Like I like tension between Sandy and Regan. I think this is actually
Yep.
really good TV.
Yeah.
I like tension between Regan and Jason and the rest of the deck crew. I like Sandy going to Z during the charter and being like, "Hey, what's going on deck and all that." Like this is good stuff. I last season one of the weaknesses was they tried to manufacture like tension between Sandy and Malia, and it's like that wasn't real.
Right.
When Sandy tries to like, there's a cliffhanger hanger where Sandy yells at Malia about her not telling about Malia not telling Sandy about David's injury. Like, okay, that's not that like who what are we talking about here? David's hurt.
Yeah.
He should tell the captain and go to a hospital.
Right.
Like that wasn't like real drama. All this is like I agree. I don't want Regan to go.
No, yeah, I'm in the same boat. All right, Sean. Anything else or before we get into awards here?
Um, no, I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready for awards. John,
right.
who's you have win the episode?
Now I don't think it's anyone's surprise, but I had Storm winning the episode.
Okay.
So did he have a lot of solo time? like on screen? I would argue no. But listen, he made a lot of headway with Natalia, which good for him. And also when it came to like being a lead deckhand slash potential bosun, he's knocking out of the park. He could easily just take the Jason route and just be like, "Oh, I'll just wait for my boss to tell me what to do and then complain about it." But he says no, and he just does what he thinks he should do. And also, we did get a lot of backstory on him. So it's like apparently he has like his he had some like probably like half siblings or something, and the younger sisters, and apparently not too fond of their dad. So he kind of like took on that role, and then like some other things about like just taking care of people. So the guy looks like an absolute stud. They showed some old photos of him with good head of hair and no mustache.
Yeah.
He looks good now too with no head of hair and solid mustache. So Guy rocks. He's diverse looks. He's making headway with Natalia. Guy killed it.
Yeah, I think at the end of the episode, Natalia mentions to Kyle that like I really want to go out there and like hug Storm or give him a kiss or something.
Yeah. Yep.
Give him a shag, maybe. I don't. What great accent on her.
Yep.
Yeah, John. I kind of mirrored that because my winner was everyone on deck besides Reagan, and basically because all of their screw ups are on Reagan now, and I'm mostly and like Jason's objectively bad at his job, but Sandy doesn't care because like
Right.
because basically since he's not getting proper training from Reagan as Sandy sees it, like he's fine. He's doing great.
Yep.
And I mean, Storm and Z also look like great leaders in comparison. And Storm's giving everyone direction. He's kind of telling Z like, "Hey, let's get all these toys out now." Yeah, but also just like Z kind of teaching Jason like how to blow up the swim platform and like a few other things. And like I don't know. I feel like everyone else on deck looks better because Reagan's so bad.
Yeah. That's fair. Now, Sean, think about the deck crew once like this slide actually comes. This could just be an absolute disaster. We can talk about that. There's no slide now, and they can't figure it out. Imagine when there is. It'll be terrible.
That's kind of what's looming over the deck team. Is maybe that's what gets Reagan fired.
Probably.
I don't think it's Sandy hitting the dolphin. I think it's the first time they try to set up the slide.
Yeah. I think Eddie probably like wants to quit every time he realizes there's a slide. So
I was watching a different season the other day. Like it was a marathon was playing, and the deck team was just put up the slide in like a minute. And like no one had any problems with it whatsoever.
I do think that there are easier ones to put up and harder ones to
Yeah,
put up.
I'm
like,
sure.
Yeah. So all right. Losing the episode. Who'd you have?
Chef Dave. Look, this guy can cook, and that chocolate cheesecake ball looked incredible. But he kind of sucks when he's drunk. He just does. Like, are you actually threatened by Jason? Like, did he think like Natasha was gonna hook up with Jason that night? What's going on there? He was lame in the club, and look, for him to still be mad at Jason when they get back to the boat was ridiculous. I will give him this. The next morning, he kind of wakes up humbled and does give Jason an apology. Seems sincere too. I mean, like he had no leg to stand on.
I'll tell you that Jason guy does not look like a guy who takes an apology easily. Like he gets salty, and I think he just stays salty.
I completely agree. He didn't want to accept it whatsoever.
He didn't. He really didn't. But I don't even know if he actually did. I think he just like kept doing his thing.
I guess in his defense, Dave had no reason to be mad at him. But also, like, I don't know, man, just let it go. But regardless, I still have Dave losing the episode just for the poor performance on the night out. And look, having your girlfriend be hot and cold with you all the time, that does stink. But I don't know. You're on a yacht with these people. You got to get over it. John, who's you have as a loser?
I had Jason losing the episode just because, like, at the end of the day, he just kind of like annoyed me. Like, so yeah, Regan stinks at her job, but like Storm and Z were able to overcome that, and Jason wasn't. And I just like hate complainers, and the guy was just complaining. So And I didn't want to give it to Chef Dave because I mean, didn't he most likely have shower sex in this episode
Yeah, that's
with
true.
Natasha? That's a tough like that's a can't have that guy losing.
I know. Yeah.
But Jason just he didn't do it for me this episode. I feel like he's not long for this boat. Um so I in a perfect world, Reagan like becomes half okay and Courtney comes on and replaces Jason. I would love that boat. I would
Oh,
love
I
that
would love
boat at
that
this point.
too.
Like who's the weak link on this boat here at that point?
That'd be amazing. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Neither of us picked Reagan, who like
No,
literally
man, she's the show.
she got put through the ringer all episode. It
Yeah.
was just like being told she sucked and like yelled at, and but we just she's just electric on TV. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan of Reagan being able to do her job well because she's not. But like, where's the season without her? Like, oh yeah, everything's going fine. Dave and Natasha used to date. It's like, who cares? I don't care about that storyline. I know it's gonna be fireworks, but like you just gotta let that happen. That's gotta be like a B level story. That can't be A.
Yeah,
Um
I agree.
yeah. So
Ronnie and Sammy on the Jersey Shore. It was I don't for those that watched it. There is only so much you could take, like
yeah,
small
it just got
doses.
lame after a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Sean, let's get into question of the week. What do you got? I have no idea what the question is.
All
So
right. Well, it's kind of theme of the whole episode. John, end of this season, who's running the deck team?
it's probably Storm. I think the guy's got his head on his shoulders, right? I mean, Z is too green. Jason's like a complainer. I really don't want Reagan to leave because I think she's really good TV. But I think if Sandy learned anything from last season, it was that she didn't cut bait when she should have. So I think she's going to be a little proactive this time and get rid of Reagan, and Storm's going to take over.
Yeah, I think it's maybe like a Storm Z co-lead deckhand. I'm not really sure what like Storm's experience is. I know he has more experience than Z, but
Yeah,
Z knows how Sandy runs a boat. So if they
yeah.
that'd be interesting, a co-lead deckhand thing.
I just like Z literally has 2 seasons of like yachting experience. He has last
That's
season
true.
and then he went back to South Africa. So it's like, are you going to take somebody who had like at the end of last season of below deck and then be like, okay, now he's lead deckhand? I get it, but I just don't see it.
I one thing gotta give Z. Z has great soft skills.
Yep.
He's good at like explain someone how to do something, but like in a very like, oh, I just learned how to do this too. So like
Yep.
in a non-judgy way, be like, yeah, Storm is like a better vocal leader.
I think so.
That's
He takes
very true.
charge. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Storm. I think as a lead deckhand, I think maybe they demote Reagan and then she just quits on her own. Or maybe it's with the first time they have to put up a slide, or it's when they hit the dolphin.
Yep.
But I know we wanted her to stay, but if we had to put money on it, I know Sadie hates her so much. In that last conversation at the end of the episode, it feels very much like I need a bosun I can trust, and that's not you right now.
Yeah.
And she kind of gave her no. I they don't connect with each other. Reagan and Cindy like don't see eye to eye at all. There's no connection there.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's probably gone, right? I mean, we know they hit a dolphin in the next episode. So is that on Reagan? I don't know. It's not a good look for Reagan.
Kind of on
So
Sandy too, but
yeah, yeah. So we'll see what happens next episode. It does look good. I'm a little worried for the Dave Natasha storyline because I don't know what's gonna happen there, and I just don't want it to be this whole like on like I do love the on off aspects and the fireworks, but like it could overrun a little bit part of the season. So
I agree.
we'll
And
see
like
where they end up.
whatever you think like of Bullet Med recently, this is a good episode.
Yeah, it was.
Like this is better than any episode of Bullet Med last season.
Yes.
This is a good start, and a post Reagan show. I don't know how it would look, but I want her for a little bit longer. I need another night out from her dancing.
I definitely do. Girl knows how to cut loose. So, all right, Sean. So that's this episode, man. We both had some pretty good things to say about this episode here, and let's see what happens next week. So I know I saw a bunch of live tweets at overboard_pod, and I'm at Below Deck John. So please follow us and don't be afraid to go over to the iTunes Center and give us not only a rating, but please give us a review, and we'll read it on the show.
So, all right, Jen, I'll see you next week, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Bon voyage.